Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. I'm here with Tyrone, Menelik, and Hollister. Yeah, I mean, last week it was just Tyrone and I. Now it's all of us. Well, now Tyrone is gone. Well, I guess he'll be back soon. But yeah, man, I want to wait for him to get here because if he was talking about some basketball, then we want to address this. He's back. We want to address this Steph Curry saying his 2017 team will beat the 96 Bulls. And I already know my opinion of it. And I know the rest of these guys might have their opinion. But I just want to go around the room before we start getting into detail. Let's go around the room and see who you guys pick. I picked the 96 Bulls over that team. Hollister?
Of course, I got to go with the Bulls on that one. Of course.
Okay, Menelik?
Yep, Bulls as well. Definitely riding with them.
And last but not least, Tom.
Bulls in 5.
All right. So before we get
We
into
could
the
just
whole spiel, I just want to say
yo, we
one
could
thing. Y'all gonna say
nah
like,
nah
oh,
do your thing, man.
yeah, y'all gonna say, oh, y'all old school, so of course y'all gonna pick them, blah 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 blah. No, it's not even because of that. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna get into it, and then take it from there. So who want to start off and get off?
Yo, we could do it like openly. We could just make
Yeah.
it a combined
Matter
if
of
you
fact, let's
want.
just do that. Let's just do that. Because honestly, we don't need.
Because
don't need
we
to
all
have
going
one.
we all gonna pretty much say the same thing. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
be just
So I
repeating
agree.
each
I
other,
agree. We can
repeating
just
ourselves
jump
like
off
4
and say that.
times.
So as you can see
So,
behind Hollister, we have the Chicago Bulls, right? And you got the Golden State Warriors. Now that's their team back then. Now I'm gonna say this. KD is gonna get his buckets. So we already know that. Right? Steph Curry, he gonna get his little stuff, but we got cats on this team to clamp him up. Okay? Clay clamps. Draymond, Robin neutralized that. Who gonna guard Jordan? Nobody. Pippen can score and play defense. So if you wanted to, you get to put Pip on Curry or Clay. You know what I'm saying? Even freaking um KD. So it's like I don't see how this team can beat the Bulls, especially if you talking about the 96 rules in defense, where the game was catered to like overall basketball and not just like,
running gun.
offensive scoring now. You know what I'm saying? So what do y'all think about that, man?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Cause I'ma just break it down, man.
I think
That's
I think either with either rules, like the old school rules and the new rules, the Bulls will beat them anyway. I would say I agree with Term 2 and 5 in the old school rule and new school. Because the only one that, like Michael said, you would have to really worry about, is KD. He's going to get his buckets no matter what. But Pippen is also a defender, a lockdown defender. He might give him some trouble, but I think KD would be the only one that would be able to, do a little something. Steph, maybe, here and there, maybe, but because Steph is a guy, like, if up on him, he gets frustrated and he, start doing all kinds of stuff. They throw him off his game and all of that. But
As you
the
see
rest of
now.
them, like, yeah. Like,
Thank you.
Draymond would not do nothing against Rodman.
Yeah.
Draymond doesn't do anything anyway.
Exactly. He only talking because Clay and Steph is there. Because
Look,
when he wasn't there, he
I'll
wasn't
give
doing
Draymond
nothing.
his credit.
Triple single.
All right. Besides that, I give Draymond his credit. Like he is the guy who kind of like orchestrating offense. He can bring the ball up. Steph Curry and Clay can play off the dribble and stuff like that. So I'll give him that. But people tend to forget. They're like, oh, the guys now are bigger, stronger, faster. Like what is it, $6 million man?
Nope.
This is crazy.
Oh, I was
First of all, that
little
Chicago
faster, that's
Bulls
it.
team, the shortest guy in the starting lineup was 6'5", and that was Ron Harper.
He was a great defender.
Okay.
And that's not even
I was gonna
all
say
that.
he was
He's a
an
good
underrated
defender.
defender. Yeah.
He's 6'6", like Mike. Also,
Underrated defender.
actually. He's actually
Well,
6'6".
I'm mistaken. He's 6'6".
That lineup.
Michael
You
Jordan. I already
got
know
they
about Mike.
people forget.
You know what I'm saying?
People forget that team had length.
Come on, son.
Phil Jackson loved playing two
Yeah.
big guards in his lineup. If you watched him
Exactly.
through that last three-peat, forget about the first three-peat. You know, it was Paxson and BJ Armstrong, but that last three-peat, it was Jordan Harper. When he went to the Lakers, it was when he went to the Lakers, he did have D. I think D Fish was in the first championship, but after that, it was Ron Harper. Ron Harper actually went over there, and he liked playing the big guards because of the length. So people say bigger, stronger, faster, but people don't realize that when Mike came in the league, he was about $190, right? When he left to go play baseball and come back, and I remember this on my basketball cards, they would say he was 216. That's the exact same height and weight as Klay Thompson, 6'6", 216. So I don't see the bigger, stronger, faster there. We all know Kevin Garnett is a stick. So he ain't bigger, stronger, faster than anybody. Okay. Draymond Green a little chubby, but I give him he got something over Rod. Rodman is kind of like a stick also, but Dennis is incredibly strong. I watched Dennis guard Shaq. Strong. I watched Dennis guard Shaq. And give him
Karl Malone too.
Give him a little trouble. We Karl Malone, Alonzo Mourning, so. All this bigger, stronger, faster thing. If you look down the roster, that '96 Bulls team, I think the shortest guy on that team was like Randy Brown and Steve Kerr. Yep. After that, it was 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 7 feet. 7'2". Because Luke Longley, I remember because of the starting lineup. Luke Longley was 7'2".
Kukoc was like 6'7",
6'11". Kukoc was 6'11". He was 6'11". So, and then it's like, you talking about defense. That was one of the top 5 defensive teams of all time, that '96 team. It's a reason why they went 72-10. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let me let Melly chime in on that, because I want to keep
going. So like y'all saying, I feel the same with a lot of that stuff. I mean, I do think the era matters some, in the sense that I think if they played in the '96 era, hands down Bulls in a more dominant fashion. If they played in today's era, I do feel the Warriors will have more comp. I still will go with the Bulls. I still think they'll get it done.
Yeah.
But I think it will be more competitive if they played in the current era, just because of how some of the rules are changed and a lot of the running around, this, that, and the third. But Jordan and them would have adapted. They were good defenders, and the length would have helped with a lot of that space the Warriors create. And like Hollister said earlier, Steph is a savage. Y'all know I said it on the show before that he's one of my favorite players currently, right? But he does have times where when the pressure's on or in certain moments, he ain't as, he don't always deliver. And once again, I don't want to make it like a grand thing, because he does it, but it's not as automatic like how Jordan is or some of these other guys. Like Durant gonna get his, like we all said. With his length, his scoring ability, he could score in any era, anytime, anywhere on the court, right? But with Klay, right? Klay is a savage, right? He's a good two-way player, right? But I do feel like when you add Rodman, Pippen, elite defender, people still want to talk. I know some people will throw out there, well, it's 2 MVPs and this, that, and the third. Like, Pippen was in MVP conversations a couple of years when Jordan wasn't there, and Pippen is a better player than people realize. It's just, because he was in Jordan's shadow, he don't get a certain type of love. Rodman, Draymond, defense, neutral out, getting their head, bother people, and like you saw what PJ Tucker was giving Kevin Durant a little bit of fix.
Go. Exactly.
Right? So imagine Rodman, or imagine some of these other
Scotty.
things. So, Scotty too, exactly. So once again, I think if it's in the current era, it'll be more competitive. I still will go with the Bulls.
Yeah.
But
I'd give the Warriors another game. I'd make it 6 games if it was this era, because I think the Bulls could adapt to this era too, because they could slow the tempo down. You don't got to run up and down with everybody.
And not only that, man, think about it. Michael Jordan was averaging crazy points when the defense can hand check and pretty much breathe down your neck.
That's another thing people don't realize.
And if he had the opportunity, which I think he might have been happy about, but maybe not, because he liked the challenge, to play in this era where it's offensive, minded, he could definitely had probably touched Wilt numbers in some capacity for a game or so.
40 easily, 40.
Because
it wouldn't have been
these cats can't guard him. And I'm not even trying to disrespect them. Like you said, I'm going to say this real quick. And I know we mentioned this in the podcast before. Michael Jordan had an interview with Amar Rashad, and he was talking about, who he thinks top players are. He mentioned LeBron and stuff like that. Maybe I'm mistaken the interview, but anyway, he was talking about he watches everybody and he analyzed how to
Mhm.
defend them. And he had said a few things about guarding LeBron.
Oh yeah, I know what you're getting
He
ready
said
to
when
say.
LeBron is driving right,
It's a
he gonna
pull
go
up.
to the basket or something like that. Oh, it's
No,
a pull
no,
up,
he
pull up.
pulls
If he
up.
go left,
He only drives to the basket
yeah, you
going
pull up.
left.
Yeah, going left.
And I've
And
noticed
sure
that.
enough,
Yep.
I noticed that
Hmm.
too. And sure enough, he said I would force him to do this, or I do this, blah blah blah. Kobe Bryant, him and Mike was tight. After that interview came out, All-Star weekend came, and when you know how they get crunch time and they about to tighten up the D and all that pause. Kobe Bryant did exactly what Michael Jordan said and
And
clamped up
LeBron
LeBron
Pass.
for those
Hmm.
critical possessions. And everybody say Kobe Bryant's like Mike, the baby Mike, whatever, right?
To 2.0.
And you mean to tell me that 2.0, right? Or not even 2.0 because that means it's saying he's better. You know what I'm saying? He's not better. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no,
He's just a carbon
I like
copy of Mike.
the
You
second,
know,
the second.
you have a carbon copy and you write it
Yeah,
and it's not fully perfect, but you can still see what you
yeah,
gotta see.
yeah.
That's Kobe, right?
It's like the
Now look,
yeah,
like we said, Katie gonna get his buckets because he's 7 foot, he got handle. People think because these kids got handle and they doing all this mixed up stuff and they doing all this crazy stuff that they super nice. There's more to basketball than that. Now, KD got handles, he can score, but like you said, with the PJ Tucker thing, putting a physical body on him, he can still get his buckets, but it's gonna be harder. He's gonna have to work on that side of the ball and on defense, right? You can put Robin or Pippen on him, done. Curry, Dellavedova was giving this man problems
you know,
in the finals.
I'm
Okay.
glad you said that because you said Matthew Dellavedova gave him problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anybody from my era would remember Randy
Mm-hmm.
Brown
Yes.
and his defense off the bench.
Yep.
So Matthew Dellavedova, what are you gonna do with Randy Brown guarding him?
In your
Who's his size? Who's
your
his
side,
size?
physical.
Too. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
I know a lot of
So
people they know Randy Brown from always running and hugging up on Jordan when he won a
mhm.
championship, but that boy was a great defensive player off the
yeah,
bench.
yeah.
He was a
And people
defensive
forget, man,
specialist.
they teach threes. The play is nice, but he don't have to put the ball on the floor. And also,
Yeah,
he's not like one of those guys could make and get to the back. So
yeah. Mike
you can
Mike would
guard
tame
him
him.
easy.
Mike would tame him. You know,
Michael consider him.
they'll put Scotty on KD. They'll put
Yeah.
Harper on Steph. They'll mix it up with
Rodman, forget
Harper.
about it.
Rodman will
Him and
bring.
Draymond probably fighting, but Rodman will get the
And
better
then
of that.
another advantage I give the Bulls, and
They
I
talk about
always thought
$1 like no
I
disrespect to him,
always
but
thought I
he
always thought
don't.
that this I always thought that what is he
Mhm.
going to do with Kukoc's length? What is Iguodala going to do if he has to guard
6'10".
Tony Kukoc?
Mm-hmm.
So
Nothing.
I always thought about this in that Warriors run that they had. They never had a great bench. Their bench was always weak. That's why every time they would play, and that's why every time they played their bench, they always had one of those big three in the lineup. They could never
Yeah.
sit one of all three of them down unless it was a blowout because they needed someone because that bench was pretty weak. Outside of Iguodala and Livingston was okay, but I wouldn't put him because I could name a lot of bench players better than Sean Livingston. So,
Mhm.
you know, the Bulls, you could sit Mike and Scotty down because then you have Tony, you have Steve Kerr,
Yeah.
Jason Caffey. I remember him.
Yeah.
We had a lot of bench guys.
Bushlow.
All right, now here's the thing, right? You bring up Bill Wennington. He's a stretch
Yeah.
five. Who you're gonna have to bring you're gonna pull a big away from the basket, which will probably be McGee. You'll probably bring Draymond away from the basket because Bill Wennington shoots 14 to 16-foot jump shots. So when you're on offense, you gotta be able to guard that. So there's a lot of things, we could take out. I could sit here all day and break this down and why I think the Bulls win that. But I also had an issue because I was watching ESPN and I heard Jay Williams talking about that the 2016 Warriors would win and this and this. And because, imagine if KD would have played the whole year, because KD missed 20 games. But my issue with that is Dennis Rodman missed 18 games in that 72-win season. Luke Longley missed 20 games. Scotty missed a couple. So imagine if everybody on that roster play, who knows how many wins the Bulls would have had. So you can't bring up that, oh, KD missed 20 games, and because now you're making people that don't really follow, they make it look like it makes it look like the 96 Bulls had everybody playing every game, and it's not necessarily true. You have to give all the facts, man.
Yeah, and not only that, right? If you look at some of the games, because Lucas and I did this, right? There's games that the Bulls lost by a point.
Yeah,
maybe like a 3-pointer. Like you said, like this person wasn't playing. They could have easily won like 3 to 4 more games.
I know
and
for
really
a fact
make that record unbreakable.
Even though the Bulls won this game, the game that I went to, in '96, when we saw them play the Nets, Scotty didn't play. Although the Bulls won the game, Scotty didn't play. I was when Dennis headbutted the referee. We was at that game, you know, and Mike had to go get 37 and 16 rebounds in that game. See, Mike could do it. Mike could do it. If you need Mike to be a rebounder, he could do that. If you need him to be a playmaker, he could do that too. And that's the thing a lot of people don't understand with Mike. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you guys just drooling over Mike. But you could look back when they wanted him to do those things, he could do it if he wanted to. That man could average a triple-double if he wanted to. But he didn't do it like that. So people are not they're like, oh, please, that era was whack. This is this.
Yeah. He played against plumbers and stuff like that.
He didn't play against plumbers. It's a lot of players in the NBA that were great players that none of these new guys know about. I could bring up names that they don't even know who Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is. And, guys like that. Mike had to guard these guys, Drazen Petrovic. He had to guard these guys, Mitch Richmond. Like they only know Charles Barkley. I could go back to players that were all-stars and borderline all-stars that were great players that could put buckets up, and Mike had to guard them. Everybody just thinks about when you think about shooting guards in the NBA in that era, they just think about Jordan and Drexler. They don't think about nobody else. So
it's a sad thing, man. Like a lot of people don't really study the game. And it's like, look, I'm not even saying, we're not even like the guys who are saying that, look, everybody from our era is better than everybody from this era.
Right.
We are realists. We are watching the games. I watched the games since a 5-year-old kid when I was actually paying attention to this time that I'm at now. And since I've been watching, I have not seen anybody who is better than Michael Jordan.
And I don't
even players now, the real smart players, they say the same thing. They're like, yo, Mike is like that dude. Even Kevin Durant said, look, when he watches Mike's game, he said he studies Mike because it's like so beautiful because he's a student of the game. LeBron and people study Mike's stuff. But see, LeBron has a different type of ego. He want to be considered the man. Michael Jordan to this day has never said, I'm the man, I'm the greatest player ever.
And regardless of all the credit, he gets criticized and he gets praised, and you still don't hear a response from him. And I don't want to make it into just a Michael thing and stuff like that, because but it's about the Warriors and Bulls. But it's just the truth. And
they don't want Pippen to get mad.
What? No, I still love Scotty. It's all right. Scotty was just going through some things. He was just going through some things. Going through some things, man. It happens in life, man. Some people, their minds aren't in the right place, and I still support Scotty regardless because he was an important part of my childhood. And like the things that we talking about right now, this is stuff that we know off the top of our head. We witnessed this. We memorized it. You guys know me in sports and how I memorize stuff. Like I don't need YouTube or The Last Dance or any of these other things to show me anything. I'm telling you this off the top of my head, and it's people need to start looking at the game that way instead of just going on NBA reference and YouTube, and then somebody tells you something and you just go with it, or ESPN. Like you just like they don't even talk about the old they don't even give praises to the old school fellas no more. It's almost like this era is all they talk about, and the old guys don't get the praise, and people make it look like they're not that good. Like Bill Russell's not that good, or Will Chamberlain. Like you don't hear nobody talk about them no more. They just talk about these guys, and they'll bring up Mike every now and then when they gotta compare LeBron to him, like they always do. But other than that, they just bring up Luka Doncic or no Jokic. Not trying to discredit them or anything, but
Yeah.
there were guys before them, and there were guys that could easily put up those same numbers. A lot of times people say, oh, what would they do back in those days? Imagine if the guys back in those days had the technology and played in this era. The numbers they were putting up then, it would be way better now. And people don't realize that. They don't realize that. They think that, okay, well, the team on TV, it looks slower. It really wasn't that slow. We watched it. We grew up watching that era. It's not that slow. It might look like that because it's not high definition TV. Maybe that's the issue. But they never saw a young Jason Kidd who used to be considered a guy that was one of the fastest players with the ball in his hands
on Showtime Magic,
and
stuff like
they
that.
talk about like, people don't understand how fast Michael Jordan was.
Yeah.
In his prime, they don't know how fast that man was. That man was fast and very quick.
When you watch
they think
the game
Russell Westbrook is fast.
Yeah. When you watch I'm glad you mentioned Russell Westbrook. I want to say something now. When you watch the game back then, right? It was more defensive minded. A game might be like 76 to 78 or 80, and that was a hard fought game. But because of that, it looked slower because it was more half court. It wasn't a lot of people were playing defense. It was different. Nowadays, it just outlet, run it in, drunk, 3-point shot, come back down. Because think about it, if I come down court, pull up a 3, right? If I make it, you come back down. If I miss it, get a long rebound, you're back. So it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So people just like, oh my gosh, it's so fast. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with that. They don't care about defense like that no more. So now it seems that they so crazy, they so much better. But it's just about, all right, we're going to make the game a lot easier for the offensive player because offense sells. So I don't want to be like one of them old heads like, oh man, back in my day. But at the end of the day, like that's what it is. And to me, it's like when we watch basketball back then, I said this many times, I could watch the freaking Pacers play the Knicks and get the same excitement as when the Bulls was playing back then, because that was my team, my childhood team, when the Bulls was playing anybody. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like now I might catch a game here and there. It's like, it's all right. Unless I care about it. If I got a fantasy guy on the team, I might watch it. But
that's the truth.
That's just how it is now. It doesn't have that same feel because there's no like hard fought games. Like when I watch March Madness, I can watch all them games because it's like, yo, they really playing, they hooping. You know what I'm saying? It's like those games I'm excited. But like when I'm watching the NBA games, like some guys like, oh, if it's regular season, I'm not gonna play that hard, or who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's not really my team, and I'm gonna shoot half court, you know that. So it is what it is. But speaking of Russell Westbrook, I feel bad for the guy, man.
They gotta leave Russ alone, man. They gotta leave Russ alone, man.
They did him dirty the other day in the Kings. Every time he shot a break.
It was like cold.
And then they put on the Jumbotron, the ice cold player of the game, and they put
that was crazy.
Russell. Yeah, that's a violation.
That's bad, man. Now I could understand if they did that for every opposing player, then it is justified. But if they only did it solely for Russ, that's crazy. But you gotta, that's crazy.
Well, even if it was like in a series or something where he was, like it's just a regular season. His team is playing bad. He's playing bad. Like so.
But Melly, you gotta realize this is the Kings playoffs, man. This is like their championship playing these regular seasons. They're not going anywhere.
But think about it. But only him. But everybody else on the team, you just pick Russell Westbrook.
That's what I'm saying. Like it could be
justified. Premeditated.
it could be justified. It could be justified if they did it with other players, but if they're only doing it for Russ, that's kind of sad.
Son. And think about it. They queued up. It's cold.
They had it ready.
They had it ready. As soon as he bricked the shot, the man hit the button like, boom, it's cold. It's like... And then he did it again and they played again. So imagine that. And you had a timeout and you look at you look up at the Jumbotron, you see that, son.
That's crazy.
You be tight. I hope the Kings won that game. I don't remember if they won that game.
They did. They won.
That's even worse.
Sacramento won.
That's even worse, son.
They beat
for
the
that to
Lakers a
happen.
few times this year already.
I mean, look,
Yeah, they
man,
beat them.
LA,
They split. They played 4 times. The Lakers beat them twice. They beat the Kings twice.
Oh,
So they don't
okay.
okay.
they don't get that
Beat them
cupcake
until next year.
game in their schedule anymore. They got a lot of
Yeah.
easy.
I think I.
Well, even if he was like a former player, you know, who left the team in a crazy way, none of that. They just was like, yo,
Yeah,
let's just-
that was
Sabotage.
crazy.
That's the first time I've seen this. It's like some WWE type joint. You know what I'm saying? Like they really getting at him.
That was
And then
crazy.
like LeBron and them getting mad at him.
Russ got to get out of there.
Like
man.
I seen that game too.
Russ
Like,
don't.
I
Russ.
seen the
You see
highlights.
his stats from the other day.
Nah, Russ don't need to go nowhere because LeBron brought him there. Let LeBron sit there and suffer with him. That's who he wanted.
Now they're gonna make a trade, man.
Nah, Russ
I
happy.
heard they're trying to get a couple of
But
people.
who gonna take that contract? That's the
I don't know if they're gonna
Nobody's
trade Russ.
taking that contract.
I
They're not
think what's
taking
gonna
that
happen,
contract.
they're gonna try to get other pieces to supplement that. I just feel that with Russell Westbrook,
They ain't got no
it's
assets.
it's an ego thing too.
Nobody
and
gonna
it's
want
bad.
AD. Nobody gonna want.
And it's like,
Oh, people gonna want AD,
nah,
no,
AD,
people gonna want AD.
They're gonna want him.
Russ
But they're not gonna
Russ went
give. They're
2
not
for
gonna give up.
14.
They're not gonna give up the whole farm for AD. But he's gonna be wanted. I'd want him, but not
Yeah.
for like an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Literally. Let me stop.
Second round pick.
But
Oh my God.
it's just crazy, man. Like they showed the highlight, and I see one of the other players on the team like, "Yo, asking Russ to give me the ball after he missed it," and Russ like, they just looked them off and it went back to the layup and bricked the layup.
Yeah,
So
it's
like,
bad.
it's like,
It's
yo,
bad,
man, like
Russ.
you gotta like take it easy, man. I know you want to show people you can do your thing, and like this
He's
slump is
doing
gonna
his thing by
pass. But
himself.
sometimes you just gotta like let the game come to you, take it slow, do something different. And
Yeah,
right
it's
now
bad.
you're
But he can't
forcing
play
it.
with LeBron.
and
He
it's
can't
bad.
play with LeBron.
I mean, you can't really play with
Not
LeBron.
everybody could.
You're right, but let's be honest
He
here.
need to be on the
This cat
team by
couldn't play
himself.
with nobody really.
True.
He wasn't winning with
KD,
nobody.
yeah,
Like the
Harden
furthest he made it was with
got to the
Durant.
finals.
Yep. That's
Mhm.
the furthest he made it with
Young.
KD.
With Durant. After Durant left, that team
That's it.
wasn't the same.
That's it. That's it,
And he
man.
made
It
it
really
to the
is.
playoffs to get bumped first round.
It really is the truth. He ever
Mhm.
since KD left, he's never. Well, he did make it out He made it to the second round with Harden in the bubble.
Yeah.
But even that, they went and played. No, was it the bubble or was it the
Yeah,
first
the
round?
bubble.
Right, because
It was
they.
the
No,
bubble.
I'm talking about. I mean, not
Did
the
they get out
bubble.
the second?
First or second round? I think it was the second
They
round.
played the
Right?
first
Yeah.
round.
Yeah, it was the
Because they
second
played
round because that's
OKC.
when Harden had that block
On Dort, yeah.
to get them
Yeah.
Dort,
to the
yeah.
second
Yeah,
round,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and stuff like that, yeah.
Right, because that's when Russ was screaming at the jumbo
The-
the virtual
Yeah.
Fake
Staring at
fans,
the thing.
virtual fans. Like, come on,
Screaming
son,
at
this
the
cat ain't
virtual.
wired.
You
Yo,
get him
imagine
stare
that.
down too.
You yelling at a virtual fan, son. And I bet
Yeah,
you wasn't
man.
a virtual fan. It probably was a cutout. They didn't say it was a virtual fan. He probably yelling at a cutout.
No, I watched that game. I
I'm
was
being
looking
funny,
like
I'm
I
being
couldn't
funny.
believe it.
So it
I was like, he was
wild.
screaming at it. Because then he had the beef with Rondo
Yeah.
brother,
Yeah,
and he was the
'cause, you know,
barber. He was like the barber for
because Rondo brothers
everybody.
zeke his hair up or something like that. My thing is this, man, with Russ, man. He's a
Never
great
thought it.
player. Well, he's a good player. And the
He's
problem
He's not a
about-
winning. He's not a winning player. That's all it is.
exactly. And that's what I'm trying to say.
The
Back,
stat
kind
sheet
of
stuff.
bringing it back full circle. Is like a lot of these guys, they just individual guys. They just want to win their stats. They don't care
Yep.
about
Mhm.
winning or doing the necessary things for the
Mhm.
team to be successful. So in their eyes, look, if I'm dropping 40 and I'm getting like 10 rebounds and I'm getting like my assists, I did my part. But you're not making the other guys better. You're not elevating the team. You're actually hurting the team. And like I said, a lot of the stats that Russ was getting, especially that year when he was getting that triple double, was a lot of empty stats. Like if you pass me the ball at the last second because you jammed up, that doesn't make you a great assist maker.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say all his stuff like that, but I'm just trying to see the majority of statistics. That's why it's getting crazy.
Laughing at that Devin Booker joint.
Yeah, man. Damn.
Yeah, that was funny. Aaron Booker doing almost like that. Went at the freaking mascot.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, well, we all know Devin Booker could complain because I seen when they did it he was doing like an off-season workout pickup game, and Joakim Noah was like guarding him mad tight. He was all getting all upset about it. And Joe Kim was like,
don't double team, man.
yeah, and Joe Kim was like, we
I think I
balling.
remember
Like,
that.
yeah, man, come on,
No
you.
rules, man.
Work on our game, like yo, like they double teaming. Yeah, we trying to win. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
like it's a
What's wrong with
game.
these
You
players
playing the
now? They
game
don't
to
like to
win.
be touched.
Yeah, man. You know, Devin Booker, I get it, but yo, bro, it's like it's part of the game. There's no
Crying.
fans there. It's gonna do that. I don't know why you get mad at the mascot per se, saying like I don't know if the mascot like flipped you off or did the DX joint to you, but it's like, yo, I seen the video. It wasn't that serious. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, because
and
they got fans and people do it all the time at these other games. It's
yeah,
like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it's funny because
you
like
got
they
missed.
showed him put his Twitter account. He changed it to the Raptors logo. And it's funny with the fan stuff because like look at the other day, John Morant, when he got the M1 on Golden State, he went up to the kid and the kid looked at him kind of scared. And he grilled at the kid. He said he apologized, but he said, yo, man, that's disrespectful, man.
In the wrong jersey.
You're in the wrong jersey. You in Memphis. Like somebody find his information, I'm gonna send him a jersey so you don't do that next time. And it's like now they said the league is entertaining or arenas, like kids doing jersey swaps. Like,
Oh my God.
who cares? They're not playing.
They showed the video. The kid went. He went to the because they had a new jersey. He's like, bring your old one, and he surely got a new one. A new John. He got a John Morant.
That's cool.
The Steph Curry jersey.
Yeah. And it's funny because like these cats be really taking it seriously, man. But I get it, man. When you
Like, you
playing the
gonna
game,
do it to the adults, not the kids though.
Yeah. But honestly, man, John Morant is what people thought Zion was going to do. But Zion, he out the league right now because he eating. Nah, I ain't got to disrespect him like
Krispy
that.
Kreme and
I think it's funny because somebody made a joke. They're gonna be like the New York Blue Devils because
because of
they
Cam
got
Reddish.
Cam Reddish on the Knicks recently with a trade. You got RJ Barrett, and then like everybody thinking they're trying to get Zion. And I think Zion does want to come to New York. Like we said this before in other podcasts, like, yo, he really thought the Knicks was going to get the #1 pick and he's going to be in New York. And I kind of think he's sandbagging, but it's still not good a look. It's not a good look for you because now you're doing that and it's affecting your output. And people look at you like, yo, this cat is not reliable. He's fat. He can always get hurt. He has so much high potential, but he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And then you look at John Morant and what he's doing. Now, granted, Memphis had a better system, better coach than the Pelicans, but the Pelicans had a decent squad. And if Zion was healthy and could play all the games, they'd probably be making some noise too. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And I hope we get it together. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Knicks, but they'll have to trade a
I
lot.
wouldn't mind either.
Oh,
Him on there.
Can he handle that pressure? That's the question.
Please.
I think he
I
can
just
handle
want him
it.
to be healthy, man. I just don't want him to be one of those guys that has so much potential and one of
Yeah.
those could have been
Like a
one of those
Brandon Roy.
generational talents. Yeah, and then it's
Oh,
just
man.
like his career
But
never
Brandon,
pan out,
but
man.
but in fairness to Brandon Roy, he just had a chronic injury. This guy just doesn't
Yeah.
dedicate himself.
No, but see,
This is
it's slightly
a lot
different.
of this got to do with carelessness.
Yes, I agree with you. But I want to say this with the Brandon Roy thing because it stems from carelessness too, where Brandon Roy had meniscus or knee issues. He got bad information from the doctors and he had these surgeries that was
Well, that happened.
unnecessary
No, I
and rushed him
understand. 'Cause
back and
it happened
bad
to Grant
training
Hill.
and it messed him up. Now
And he
with
ain't
the
the only one.
Zion thing,
He
see,
ain't the only one.
Zion's-
'Cause
go ahead.
no, I'm saying, yeah, I mean, I understand that, but you can't. I mean, you can't fault him for trusting doctors' information. I mean, Grant.
No,
look at what
I get
Grant Hill dealt with.
No, I get it.
What is Zion's excuse? It
I'm
ain't the
about to tell-
doctors.
No, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
But yeah, go ahead.
You're right. But his physiological body type is the problem. He has one leg slightly longer than the other. He's just a
know.
big dude genetically, and it's messing him up. My thing is this: people like Zion, if I'm going to get to, right? They've been told that you are dope. You're the man. Now, granted, he played very hard, even in Duke. He was in good shape. he did everything. He was happy to be there. He did the right things. He never wanted to go to the Pelicans.
We know that.
He said, you know what? I'm gonna make the best of my dream and I'm gonna play here. You get to an organization, he was killing in his summer league. Bump knees, landed wrong, meniscus injury. Wanted to come back, frustrated how they was handling him. Now you gotta understand, he's very close to his parents, his mother especially, and they're the primary people that kind of have
Yeah.
his ear. And what happens is that he don't want to be there, so he's not making the absolute effort to do better. Now, he also is the man on his team. So like Charles Barkley said the other night, which I agree, he don't got no legit vet to be like, yo,
They've been talking about that for weeks.
you
It's the
fat, bro.
truth.
You got to get together. You got to take this seriously. You
Chuck
got to
Chuck
eat
said
better.
Chuck
You
said
got
it
to
all
do
the
the right
time.
thing. Yeah.
Moses Malone was
Yeah.
that guy for him.
So to me, I feel that if he's in a better situation that he wants to be in, he'll make the effort. The problem to that is if he doesn't get it together now, he's liable to get hurt in a way worse way, and then he won't have the opportunity anyway. So my thing with Zion is like, yo, he got to really get it together, put it together, and really work hard. And like, you know what? This is my life. If I want to be great, I want to have a long career, I got to be healthy. I got to be stronger. I got to be disciplined because we already seen the production when he's playing. So we know the man could put in the work. It's just that he has to put in the outside work in order to be successful. And that's just my thing with him. And I feel that if he's going to play on the Knicks, if they do whatever, some magical trade, which I doubt they're going to do, because they're not going to lose that asset to get to the team, then you'll see a different Zion. I just think Zion needs to say, look, hey, I'm here for now. Let me lock in and show everybody why I'm the number one pick. If that was me, if I was him, that's what I would do. But
Yeah. I think it might also be a little bit too that he's like the type of person where he could stay in shape if he playing ball. Like if he has to like be in a gym or work with somebody or do like stuff that he don't really want to do, and it's like more focused training.
yeah,
I feel like that's probably a little more challenging for him. I think that might be a little part of the equation too. Because yeah, every time he's been able to consistently play, he's been in decent shape. And
yeah.
you know, maybe with whatever injury he had now, he had to train in a different way or something. And it was just easier for the calories and the other stuff or whatever to catch up to him too. Once again, he a professional and he got the money and the people around him, so that shouldn't really be a hindrance anyway. But I feel like that might be a little bit too what's going on with him.
I mean, I agree. I look at it like this, Finn. It's like, yo, even so, right? You still have to train. Like playing ball is a great thing. When I was his age, I was eating anywhere I want. I play ball, not as much as him. And I was playing ball all the time and I was relatively skinny and slim, right? But as you get older, that don't work no more. You got to change it up. And my thing is like what Tyron mentioned, even with Mike, he came in there buck 95. He was getting beat up. He started working out, training the muscles, making sure he stay strong and stay injury free. Look at LeBron. I give him a lot of credit because the man realized my body is my asset. And he has longevity because of the fact he is training outside, making sure his buff body is in shape. He can take the quote unquote abuse and be all right. So I think with Zion, you got the money, get nutritionist. I understand working out because he just said a while back, like his body's weird that if he work out, he'll put on muscle so fast that he gonna be like freaking like when Vegeta and Trunks went into the hyperbolic time chamber and they came at mad brolic, they couldn't move. He don't want to be like that. He want to be more nimble, like Goku and Gohan when they went in there. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. But at the same time, you got to do something because you're painting a picture of being unreliable, you know what I'm
Easy.
saying, uninterested and injury prone. And you don't want that because as great of a talent as he is, these organizations now, they're not going to be giving cats this kind of bag no more and doing it. And you were supposed to be the face of the league when LeBron retires. And if you don't get it together, it ain't gonna be him, it'll be somebody else.
I don't
You know
think
what I'm
he's
saying?
dedicated
So
at all.
yeah. And that's a sad thing. See? Hollis is
And
saying
he
you ain't
just look
dedicated.
lazy too. Like he just look lazy. Like you the number one pick. Like you got all these endorsements.
Exactly.
Pretty much you got the franchise, the keys, and it's like you can't even stay in
Yeah.
shape. Like, and if he come to New York, there's way more food options here. So that it's not really a good thing for him. I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Exactly. But you see, trade deadline is coming up. I feel bad for Bol. I really wanted him to get an opportunity to play and get minutes because he has
Sure.
talent, has potential, but whatever happened in that physical, they reneged on that trade. And it's funny to me because like Cam Reddish got a bad ankle sprain, but he got through. He on the team. So it gotta be something deeper with Bol, which is why the Pistons like, nah. And they didn't say it yet. I just hope it's not one of those hard things or some other crazy joint that can end his career prematurely. But I'm interested to see what these moves going to make, like for these teams. I know the Lakers are looking to make some moves, so we'll see what
They're
happens.
on buyout. They looking at everything.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, even though he on the opposition,
Yeah,
I am happy to hear that Zach LaVine knee thing is
Yes.
not serious because
Yeah.
I wouldn't want, the team they really had to turn around this year, and I hate
Mhm.
when teams can't play themselves right away.
Yeah, I had my fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that too. Because when we beat them, I don't want no excuses.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Tyron.
yeah. That's okay.
I don't want no excuses from Tyron when we
That's
beat
all
them.
right.
You know what I mean?
I don't make excuses like that. Only you do that.
I don't make no
Whether
excuses
it's
at all.
whether it's
I
a
keep
big
it 100.
toe, the big toes on the line, or Kyrie didn't play, James Harden was hurt. You make a lot of excuses.
But that's
But
not an
yeah,
excuse.
I mean, if
That's
Kyrie
the
was
it's all
facts.
right.
there, it was a wrap.
Y'all
but,
beat us. Y'all beat us
Kyrie
the other day.
wasn't
So
there.
I know if
it's-
Kyrie was
it's-
playing, it was
it's
over.
still it was still 2
I
to
know
1
Giannis
in the season
did a
series. It's all
Zaza
good though.
and
I know
caused Kyrie not to
that-
play.
I know
You
it
know,
was serious.
James Harden was playing with one leg.
I know
And we
we
still
beat y'all 2 to 1
almost
in the
beat them.
season series. I'm not worried about Milwaukee, man. You guys lost to them last year. Let it go, man. But anyway,
I was never crying about it. I'm saying that we lost,
man,
and I'm
you
happy that
still-
they won the chip.
All
I
right,
said that.
all right.
I'm
Sure,
just saying. I'm just stating the
Mhm.
facts. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I know y'all
All
hype.
right.
I know you hype. The Bulls, they really exceeding expectation. I thought they're gonna be a top 6. They up there. They number
Oh,
one.
I knew
right
we was
now.
gonna be a top contender. Look at with those signings. Now we gotta really like dig deep now because who knows if I heard they're gonna reevaluate Zach in like a week, so he might be out a week or 2.
Yeah.
Good thing it's happening now in January and not near the playoffs.
That's what I say, and I hope that everybody stay healthy. Cause I hate hearing injuries, and not only because of my team, but just a fan of the sport. I hate hearing that, you know what I mean? Because these guys' livelihood, you know what I'm saying? And like, you want to see the best product out there. You know what I'm saying? Even if the Nets had to play the Bulls, I'd rather them play the Bulls, both teams at full strength. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more exciting.
Yeah.
As opposed to any like, oh, the Bulls didn't have this person or the Nets didn't have this person. So it's always that kind of like what if. And
Yeah.
I'm glad they're getting healthier now, like how the Bucks got healthy last year, right at the right time. That's what it is. I mean, like they say, championship is the skill of the team and luck. You know what I'm saying? And certain matchups and certain things, you know what I'm saying? So to be able to win it, especially back to back and do everything like that is a big feat. And I just hope that the Nets can win it this year. And then We do our three-peat and all that.
Oh
and then
God.
see how it goes.
Three-peat what? You didn't even win one.
That's what
You
I'm saying.
three-peat.
After we win, I'm hoping that we could three-peat. That's what I'm saying. We shoot for
No,
the stars.
you're not three-peating, man. You're not.
Right?
Be lucky if you go back to back. If you did win, you'd be lucky if you win one.
I mean, we could have went back to back. We won last year.
Oh, we could
You know
have.
what I'm
Here's the excuses that you say you don't make. You're making a
It's
lot
not
of
an excuse.
excuses.
I'm just saying we could have.
All right.
Not saying
All
an
right,
excuse. They
I got you.
lost.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining us. I want to thank Menelek, Hollister, and Tyrone for joining me today in the podcast. Like I said before, we really do appreciate you guys and the support that we have. You know, it's slow going. We're still trying to make this thing better, get better topics, get more comfortable, and put it out there. But we really do appreciate the support. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, let us know, hey, talk about this. I'd like to hear what your opinions on this, or keep up the good work. Whatever you want to put there, we appreciate it. Positive, though, not no negative. Really appreciate it. Shout out to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless.